All right, here we go again. Buckle up. So I'm going to clear up some scam that just came in as to what they were representing somewhere along the way. It came in psychically. Right. What up, Bobo? Hopefully, I didn't have that police officer sitting there for like 3 hours waiting for me to drive away. Gross misuse of public funds, which is another point. Right. It's like their personal playground. It's disgusting. It's filth. Thanks, sir. So apparently, they say I've some non-disclosure agreement. I've never been paid. The retirement is something different. The idea that they said we're going to let you move on and there was some agreement. I never made an agreement. Right. First off, that's the first part. There's more to it. Second, they only said that to Jim so that his wife Peg could then move the next operation, which was Larry's going to move up near his wife. Let's push him up that way. Right. So Jim would think, oh, they're going to let him retire. It's safe now. You know, Jim saw the vehicles and everything. Jim saw it before I did. We were driving to the Eastern Shore. We were on the Eastern Shore. We were getting some food. We just dropped off a protected witness. Right. And Jim Spicer's like, I hate these license plates. I'm like, what? I hate these personalized license plates. I don't know if they were, they were right there. So Jim saw it like, years before I did. Now he was the governor's protection man. They were doing him because he really was in a political kind of thing. Right. I wasn't. I was a regular person. That's another thing. Well, you're political. I'm not political. I'm just a regular person. You're killing. Get away from me, and I probably couldn't see anything that you were doing. Right. So that's all that was for. There was no agreement. But again, the agreement was between people in the workplace. Right. The workforce, the federal workforce, you stop or we're going to push it. And I said, okay, we'll stop. Right. But they never did. So there was no, we're going to let him retire it. They didn't forward I put my paperwork in to retire. They never forwarded it. They sat on. And like months later, they send a fitness for duty letter. And that's when I went to the senator. I'm not going to respond to that. That's bullshit. Right. I was on sick leave for like 3 months. I mean, they just about killed me. Look, John killed himself. Or somebody killed him. In other words, they unprotected John to the point of being killed, or they screwed his head to the point of that he killed himself. One or the other. It was murder. It was psychological murder at a minimum. Right. Yeah, hey, when it comes in, I respond to it. That's just the way it works. I would have suggested that you all moved on. You all obsessed. The last person involved is the same as the first person involved. That's how their criminal enterprise works. Again, it's RICO. They try to do a RICO scam and get protection and insulation. Right. And continuing criminal enterprise. So there was no, even if there was an agreement, they were the ones that would have reneged. If I have to go to a senator, there is no agreement. Right. Agreed. So there was never a non-disclosure agreement. They just said, don't say anything. And I'm like, okay, I won't, I'm not saying anything. It was just like when Rick Henry walked in, well, actually, I saw Rick Henry and he says, that FBI agent, leave her alone. I said, I am. I have nothing to do with her. I don't know what anybody's talking about. Right. Now, I don't know if that was Rick Henry just trying to set me up or not. Right. No, she's the one that did me, and everybody knows that. Right? I just don't know if she did me past, when I left. I mean, she could possibly have been part of all this. She held positions where she could do it. Facebook definitely did me, and that's where she was. Right? At least was. I don't know where she is now. Thank you. That just shows you a wacko whore like that. And she's working for Facebook. Right? And I can't even I can't even move into a storage unit comfortably. And I go, oh, because I did nothing. They're lying. They got paid by criminally operating spies to do it. And that's the way it worked. Right? Because I dared investigate. Because the scam is this, that you're just being investigated and you're not, let's say it was, what was that guy's name in Houston? Houston PD. The guy that Houston PD took out. Carnaby. Let's say it was Carnaby. I'm supposed to believe that that's where they failed. That's why he freaked out. He never got pulled over. Because the illusion is you're being investigated by the FBI or somebody like that. Just let it happen. What you don't know, if you don't know spycraft, is that they're actually killing you and breaking your life. Right. And that's the scam. Oh, just don't say anything so they can break your life some more. Correct. So I just, because generally, again, it's psychological torture. Most people just want to move on. And, bygones be bygones, I'm out of here, kind of deal. Well, thank you, Larry. At a certain point, it was obvious that they were spreading rumors about me. And I had to clarify what was actually going on. They're the ones that forced it. Right? And then they try to say, well, we're investigating something and we accidentally pushed that button. That's bullshit. It's just like the whole thing in 1984. I'm not supposed to talk about it because a bunch of detectives in Pennsylvania never called me as a witness. Right. It never came up till I was in the Marshal Service and I already knew law enforcement. Right. Because somebody, I started waking up, somebody projected, it's something to do with, this thing in 1984. But they tried to use it like, this is why we're doing it to you. Right. Thank you, Larry. Well, because all I did was get him turned. I mean, it could be, what they're saying is, why doesn't he see it like, and I did for a brief moment, but it didn't pan out near. Why couldn't it be the guy he turned in? Well, I said it could be, but that's not what I'm seeing. Right. Well, everybody knows I'm a seer and I'm a psychic. I mean, the fact that I can see what I see with thousands of people effing me off personally, knowing I'm a psychic, not wanting me to see specifically. Right. Thousands of multi-million-dollar bank account detectives and investigators that work for criminal enterprise. Right. This is the truth. I don't have a problem speaking the truth. I'm 61 years old. You did it to me since I was in my 20s. F you and F your families. Yeah, see you. The fact is, if you're not here or you're not involved, then you're not cursed. It's that simple. I'm not like all of you, just cursing innocent victims. Right. I have control and parameters on what I do. 100%. All I had to do was stay away, and nothing would ever have been said because I moved on. I mean, the operation worked. Ugh. I agree. Now I'm trying to have sex with people. Get the hell out of here. You're all trying to have sex. Facebook, X, Google, Marshal Service, FBI, sluts and whores. Every last one of them. Agreed. Show me the 5 virgins and tell me that's the world. Right. Yes, sluts and whores, I'm sure. Man.